Lucas Oil Speedway here in Wheatland, Missouri. It's been our home for the Coast2Coast Racing League hometown heroes all season long. It's another Wednesday night here of the Coast2Coast Racing League, and it's week number 10 of the hometown heroes, brought to you by Cool Ray. As always, we begin the evening with the 305 Sprint Cars, and the 305 Sprint Cars are brought to you by A&J Custom Creations. Well, we got a good one for you on tap here once again. We're so glad you could join us on the Coast2Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you, filling in for the Extreme E-Speed TV crew here tonight. Well, let's set the scene here for you as we're a couple minutes away here from going at it. We've got first off, we've got a car count of 18 305 sprints that are set to race here with us this evening. And, excuse me. There we go. Got a driver train going on there. But anyway, as we get set to go here, let's break down the point standings coming in. The point standings brought to you by All About Tie-Dye here. And of course, it's been Patrick Spangler who's been the most dominant man so far during the Hometown Heroes this season, coming in with 649 points. He leads by 51 points on Randy Shreves at the moment, who is second with 598. Joseph Grandy third with 532 points. Jeff Barker fourth with 498 points. And in fifth is Blake Chapman with 474 points. This pre-race show brought the way, before we get to qualifying, it's brought to you by the Tim Chapman Racing pre-race show, an official pre-race show of the Coast2Coast Racing League. Well, of course, Lucas Oil Speedway has been a fun track to race at here all season in the Coast2Coast Racing League, no matter what class you're in. This is the class that normally favors the middle to high groove. On Monday nights, though, if you have your setup dialed in on the bottom, you can make it work. But this is mainly a middle to high side track here. So qualifying, just about set to go. Qualifying is brought to you by the ABR Setup Shop. And let's get our first drivers here out onto the racetrack. And first driver to take to the speedway is the driver of the number 87. That's Andy Patton in the A&J Custom Creations machine. Been a while since I've talked with Andy in a Coast2Coast Racing League event. Been very busy, been putting a lot of focus onto Wednesday nights. Patton will bring us to the line here for lap number 1. Again, these are 305 sprints as he sets the bar to 14,194. So this is a race that's all about momentum in the 305 sprints as Joseph Grandy takes his car to the top, 13,885. Patton looks to answer it back. Goes to second, 13,995. This is a track that's wide open, full throttle. It's all about the momentum you've got in the race car, rolling in the corners, as well as making sure that wing is adjusted the perfect way. Here's the mayor, Steve Bixler, in car number 75. Blake Chapman goes quick time. The salesman goes 13,841. Isaac Salas, though, meanwhile. Watch this closely. Quick time for him, 13,798. Quick time after quick time after quick time we go. Got a couple more drivers on the racetrack. Here's Randy Shreves first off in the 56, fifth quick on lap 1, 13,956. Shreves second in points coming on in. Now for turn 4, could be a better lap. We'll check the time here at the line. Up to third, 13,881. Nice job from him. Jeff Flero third quick on lap 1, 13,873. 1 minute left here in qualifying. Flero's second lap better in sector 1, but a little bit slower on sector 2. Malachi Smith with a much better lap number 2. Where does this put him? 14:28, a better lap, but he's 16th quick at the moment. So I don't think we'll have two guys that we're waiting on. I don't think they'll be able to qualify. They can if they want, Patrick Spangler and Joe Canellis, but I don't think they will. So 30 seconds out here, and Isaac Salas has the ABR Setup Shop Fast Time Award at the moment, 13,798. Blake Chapman second quick, 13,816. Jeff Flero third, 13,873. Randy Shreves 4th, 13.881, and 5th Joseph Grandy 13.885. And so it is official. Isaac Salas will notch the quick time award here, as we are just about set to go here for heat race number 1 this evening. Our first heat race of the evening is brought to you by the good friends at Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, the second to none heating and air conditioning company in the Hamilton area. They promise their customers that our own professionally Langdon specialists will be there personally every step of the way. We guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and or cooling system. Every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service call we make is backed 100% by Langdon. Well, let's get you your starting lineup here. Again, we invert the top 4 if you're new to the Hometown Heroes before we take the green flag. You've got the mayor, Steve Bixler, and the captain, Gary Taylor, on row number 1. Row 2 is Randy Shreves and Isaac Salas. And in row 3, Pat Boyce and Malachi Smith. And again, we're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We'll be sure to give you a shout out on the air. Drivers tonight following the Steve King Foundation Pace Truck, formed to help the dirt track community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, race officials, track ops personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who suffer a serious illness, injury, or death. So on board there with Steve Bixler as we're just a couple moments out from taking the green flags. 8 laps here for our first heat race. Or actually, correction, this is 6. I'm new to the Hometown Heroes thing, so bear with me. Winner starts on pole position here tonight. Underway we go. Taylor tries to get away with the jump off at turn number 2, which he does barely. Bixler second. Shreves and Salas worse single file. And they split the 75, who had a bad 3 and 4. So that moves Shreves up to P2. Salas goes to 3rd. And the battle for the final transfer spot breaks out between Boyce and Bixler. Taylor currently leading at the moment with a 1/4 of a second advantage here on Randy Shreves. You see that low side starting to get slickened up very early here. Quicker than you normally see it. Pat Boyce, meanwhile, tries around the outside of Salas for 3rd. The 05 shuts the door. Salas with a 14 even last lap. That was the quickest lap so far of this heat race. 2 to go in heat 1. Now it's Gary Taylor who cracks the 13-second mark for the first time today. No one wants to take any big risks here at the moment, so the gaps will likely stay the way they are. Invert really changes everything when it comes to 305 sprint races. They make their way through 3 and 4. It is the captain, Gary Taylor, up the track, but he still wins heat 1. Everyone transfers here. So it's Shreves, Salas, Boyce, Bixler, and Smith. Second heat race of the evening brought to you by Magnum Race Design, offering iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design, want attention to detail, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook. You can contact them directly through Messenger. Magnum Race Design, the official sponsor of the Big Blocks. Starting lineup is Donovan Ross and Bob DeGood on row number 1, Joseph Grandy and Blake Chapman row number 2, and in row 3, Roger Craig and Patrick Spangler. Ready for the green flag for heat race number 2. Green flag is out. Ross gets the jump. Grandy took a peek underneath, and Ross shuts down both lanes. DeGood had to get on the binders there, or else he was rear-ending the 5. And off the corner, lap number 1 is in the books. Dead even for second between Grandy and DeGood. They nearly touch off in turn 2. The salesman looks to make it 2 for wide. Oh, boy. DeGood goes around. Keeps all 4 wheels on the ground. Blake Chapman got a piece of it as well. He's down in the 4th spot. Patrick Spangler looks to make the pass. Biggest mover in that situation was the Bassman. Roger Craig picks up 2 spots. And for the race lead, Joseph Grandy all over Donovan Ross to try and start second. This is on board with a 518. Two laps to go in heat race number 2. Whirling the top here, whirling that cushion at the moment. Now the race for 3rd. Chapman underneath Craig, and he's got it. Final lap underway, coming down to Ross and Grandy. And Grandy should have made his move there, but does he go for a slider in 3 and 4? Does Ross defend? In the corner, Ross goes defensive. Grandy tries to cut it back, and off the corner, Devo wins the heat. By a 10th on Grandy, Craig 3rd, Chapman 4th, Spangler 5th. So we now move to our 3rd heat race of the evening, brought to you by the Salty Dogs Race Team. Salty Dogs Race Team, composed of many of the members of the Coast2Coast Racing League, and have been released from the home to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 or more dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. Mike Vitale and Jeff Barker make up row number 1. Andy Patton and Jeff Flero in row 2. Harold Klump and Joe Canellis round out the field. Should be just about one more pace lap before we take the green flag. So set to take the green flag here. Winner starts on the inside of row number 2. Ready for the green. Good start by Vitale. Barker tries to get a run off turn number 2, but he can't. Everyone working it up top off the corner. 3 wide, meanwhile, for the 2nd spot. Andy Patton looks to go 2 for 1. Flero still rides in the 2 spot. Double file off the corner. Vitale still leads. Barker moves up to 2nd. And here's the race for 3rd. Canellis looks to go 3 wide into turn 3. This is some awesome stuff here at the moment. 3 to go in this heat. Everybody working the top shelf here at the moment as you take a look from the aerial shot. Patton, the quickest on track, 14:21. The 2 in front, though, 14:25 at the moment. 2 laps to go in this heat. Look at Canellis, who looks to throw a bad slider. Way bad. They take each other out. You could tell with no yaw on that slider, that was going nowhere. Final lap is underway. Comes down to Vitale and Barker. Vitale a little high off of turn number 2, but doesn't even matter. They work the same lane and off of turn 4. Vitale takes the win in heat 3. And so heat races are pretty much in the books here. Now time for our warm-up watch, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. First feature of the evening coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll keep you right here, though. Set to go for our first feature of the evening. Jeff Flaherty, the quickest in warm-ups. Let's meet the field. Here is your Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, it's the captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. And next to him, Devo Donovan Ross in the 5. Row number 2, Michael Vitale in the 213 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 3, Joseph Grandy in the 518 and Jeff Barker in the 513. Row 4 is Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5 and the Bassman Roger Craig in the 747. Rounding out the top 10, Jeff Flaherty in the 200 and Pat Boyce in the 41. Row 6, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20 and Andy Patton in the 87. Row 7, it's the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75 and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Row 8, Joe Dirk Canellis in the 1 and Malachi Smith in the 013. And rounding out the field tonight is Bob B. Good in the 7 and Harold Klump in the 111. Moments away from taking the green flag here. Time for predictions to win. I'm going to go with Devo in this one. See what happens. Donovan starts from second here tonight. Could be its night. We'll just see what happens. Set for the green flag. 30 laps here around the Lucas Oil Speedway. Ready for the green flag here. Taylor and Ross will bring us to green. Time to get them going here at Lucas Oil. 4 wide already in turn number 2. This ain't gonna work. 5-car wreck already. The big one breaks out. Jeff Barker takes Malachi Smith for a ride. You saw that coming, that's for sure. Save the 4 wide for the charity night, boys. Yeah, that was just a racing deal. Then Barker up into Ross, and everyone starts pinballing around. Boyce did good. Spangler, I think, just barely missed that accident. Out of the love for Dean, let's go gyro cam here with Devo. Show you another angle here. Watching the aftermath. Pat Boyce come in. Oh, Tory Tire victim. 2 right there. Great camera angles as well. iRacing doing a whale of a job with that. So we'll try this again. And the biggest winner in all of this moves up to 2nd. That's Isaac Salas here. And let's see here. Are we going back to green this time? I believe so. Grandy got to keep his position somehow up into the 2nd spot. Or is it back down to the 3rd spot? I think we're going to wait one more time. Nope, we're going back to green. So this will be interesting to see when it comes to... Oh, Salas got the wall way too high. Off of turn number 2. So Gary Taylor leads in a field that was really scattered on that restart. Some of you don't see that often. You see Ross out there. I'm sorry, I was looking at somebody else. I think I was looking at Roger Craig. Yeah. Craig inside on Flaro, looking for that 10th spot. Well, we're having some technical difficulties, I think, with our system at the moment. Joseph Grandy somehow is being scored as the race leader. I think there was a glitch in our stuff didn't update. Let's see, is this saying it's correct right now? Grandy inside on Taylor. This is what would be for the race lead on track, folks. Side by side, Grandy lets Taylor have it. Just had Donovan Ross and Malachi Smith crash. No caution. They spun out in the infield, so we stay under the green flag. Blake Chapman joins in on this. A 3-car battle for the race lead. Taylor, meanwhile, up the track. Caution. I think this is another Devo accident. So now we'll see how race control figures this out, because apparently there is some glitch in the scoring we have at the moment. Here's what happened. I think Devo, I don't know how a caution could come out for that. Unless I'm missing something else here. I didn't see a car get sideways, but... So, SDK and iRacing scoring agree together. I think, are they scoring everyone back out to where they should be, and they're going to clear all black flags? I think that's what they're doing, and if so, that's the move you have to make. So they're going to sort everything back out here at the moment. We do know Gary Taylor is leading. We do know Joseph Grandy is second. And we do know that Blake Chapman is third. We know that's your top three at the moment. Pace truck is pulling in, and we're going back to the green flag here. And oh, we'll take it back to caution flag. We'll take an additional lap off. Just so we can let everyone get back into the pack. Devo's saying this is fun. Devo, I think our scorekeepers are drunk right now. I think they may have had too much to drink. I kid, by the way. It's just a normal iRacing glitch, so. Just stand by here. Yeah, I think they're just updating everyone so they can be in the right places. We still have Grant. Where the heck's Gary? Oh my goodness. So it's now saying Grandy leads. Shreve is. That part I still don't get that part. Gary Taylor should be the leader here at the moment. I may need an explanation on what's going on. And are we gonna go back to green here this time? Oh my goodness, I think we're going back to the green. Unless we're gonna go immediately to caution. Yeah, they're gonna sort everyone back out. They've brought the pace truck back out. It should be Gary Taylor as the race leader. Hopefully Gary's listening. If he is. Gary's staying in the back here, which I don't understand here. I don't know if I'm missing something or whatnot. Or are they just giving everyone a lap back or so? I don't know. Just bear with us here, people. This will get cleared up here momentarily. We do know Grandy is in second. Isaac Salas should be fourth, I believe, here. If I were the officials up in the tower right now, I would go back to replay and see where everyone it was when the caution flag flew on lap 1, except for those that wrecked, and then put them in that spot and then go back to green. So they got Blake set. Blake is set in second. Where's Gary, though? Gary's not even going to the front. He's the leader. He is scored as the leader, which I still don't understand this. And now they've got Blake as the... Yeah, bear with us once again here, folks. We're just the ones that talk about the action, all right? And Joseph, I think, is going up the track, and we're back to... I think we're going to take a caution to bring the caution flag back out here. I don't know. Yeah, we're keeping the cars at regular speed from what we are hearing here. We don't want to unmute the open up the race communications channel here. Because there's probably a lot of talking happening here at the moment. I think here's what I think they're doing. They're letting everyone that's a lap down get past and put everyone back on the lead lap and then sort everything else out. I like that move. So they got Gary set up in second now. You just got to get past Joe. He'll be the leader here. And once again, though, they are ticking laps off here. As we speak, Craig says, hope they got a full tank. I hope so too. They do. They do. I'm confident that they do. Because when caution flags fly, you're... Apparently what I've learned in iRace is that you're not using up any fuel whatsoever. So we'll see where they got Gary set. Next question I'm wondering is where's Joseph Grandy? Joseph's making his way up. I'm gonna stop. You can't stop the people. That's the thing. You can't stop them or else it's gonna freeze the field and bring up another caution. We may have to red flag the field here for the first time ever without any passing. Okay, we're going back to green apparently, or are we gonna throw yellow here? We've winded them up, and apparently Joe Canellis is the... Let's see here. Let's wait. Okay, so we're staying green, and Joe Canellis is scored the leader. Taylor second, DeGood is third. That's the race for fourth between Boyce and Vitale. So Vitale takes fourth spot away. DeGood and Canellis, both the biggest movers, up 14 spots. Keep in mind, DeGood does have front wing damage from the accident he was involved in earlier. And down the racetrack, we got a race for the lead, though. Taylor all over Canellis, meanwhile, for the top spot, even in heavy lap traffic. Caution's back out, and it's for Grandy. Oh, that's a tough break. See, here was their contact with Blake Chapman. They were, I believe, they were battling for a position here. Did Grandy lose it by himself? Overdrove it, went over the top of the cushion, and hard in that wall. Luckily, he didn't tear the front wing off with that shot. So we can, this is going to give us a nice angle right here. Watch this. Right here. Just wait. Oh, man. And that just damages the right front suspension when you make a hard hit like that. Here's the onboard with Joseph. So we're resetting everything, and we've got Gary Taylor now is the leader. Joe Canellis has dropped to the back. And so Bob DeGood second, Pat Boyce third, Mike Vitale fourth, Harold Klum fifth. And we're going back to green with the drivers restarting. Down the back straightaway. Bob DeGood's got to let the leader go by. Oh my goodness. So Taylor should be scored as... Where's Canellis? Canellis is at the end of this one. And so Taylor's fallen back to third while we got a wild race happening on back. Let's go to that race for a second between DeGood and Taylor. Oh, it's tight. Meanwhile, off of four as well. Blake Chapman, Jeff Flero, Pat Boyce. Taylor looks for the slider up on DeGood for second, and he's got it. Very interested in seeing the official results here when we get to the end of this one. Chapman takes away the 3 spot from Gary Taylor. Look at Flero. Inside, looks to go 2 for 1. Almost 3 wide off the corner. Oh, look out. DeGood and Boyce make some contact. Down the back chute. They keep it straight. Now Chapman sideways off of Flero. The 200 forced its way past for third with 9 laps to go. Car length and a half separate the drivers, and now Flero goes after Taylor for second. Taylor tries to slap at the 200, gives, just enough room for Flero. Taylor sideways off the corner, and Jeff Flero moves up to second past his fellow Canadian. Taylor wants to be on the bottom step of the podium unofficially tonight. Blake Chapman still finding a way, wants to find a way to get past for third on the captain. Underneath on Taylor, and the 34 shuts the door. Randy Shreves currently rounds out the top 5 at the moment. 4 laps to go for Joe Canellis at the moment. Canellis just taking his time, working out to get his way through the traffic. Once we get all the cars across the line, as Chapman way wide opens up the door for Gary. Once we get all the cars across the line, then we'll figure out who the winner is. So Blake takes third away from Gary Taylor. Final lap, meanwhile, unofficially underway for Joe Canellis. He'll come across the line first. But will he be scored the winner is the question. Canellis takes the checkers first. Win by 6.7 seconds on Jeff Flero. Then Blake Chapman, Gary Taylor, Randy Shreves. Everyone's crossed the start-finish line. We'll see if the results are available, as they are. Your race winner is Jeff Flero. Flero takes the checkers here tonight. Flero wins, Chapman second, and Taylor third. How about that for Jeff Flero? Got it done with that pass on Gary Taylor. So they had Taylor as the leader. That was the situation. They just didn't have it as the top guy. Okay. I think it now makes sense, so hope that makes sense for you folks at home. Flero's in. We just need Chapman as Taylor as they pose for a photo. Taylor, I believe, as well, gets the dog bone. Oh, yeah, without question he does. And we'll begin the proceedings here. And let's begin with the captain, Gary Taylor. GT, great run tonight, man. I think that's your best finish as well of the season. Just walk us through your run tonight. You got us, Gary?
Chaos that was tonight with all the stuff going on. I don't know what you were seeing, but I had a good run, and I just tried to stay with it to see what happened.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
Absolutely.
It's new for me. This is new for me. You know
yes.
that.
Same. This is new for me, too, here. I've never dealt with a situation like this. But I do want to ask as well, with the way the 305s are and with Lucas, the way Lucas Oil is, did that invert really help you out in a sense of way? Did you really want to be on the pole for your heat race coming on in? Because that's what got you out to the front.
Yeah, I don't mind being up there, but I got a lot of competition behind me, so I get nervous about it.
All right.
I had a good night tonight, finally. I needed one of them.
Absolutely. Glad you had fun, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Malcolm Mills, Mill Riding, Coast2Coast Racing, the Salty Dogs Racing Team. I think that's about it for now.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Best finish of the year for you. Your first podium on 305s. Congratulations.
Thanks, Marty. Have a good night.
You too. Gary Taylor with the third place finish. Let's get to our second place finisher, the salesman Blake Chapman. Blake, first off, fun battle in those final laps with Gary. Just walk us through it to the end.
Yeah, that race was something else, Marty. I've never been in a race quite like that with everything going on. I'm sure a lot of people felt like they got screwed over, but it is what it is. Like you said, I had a good battle with Gary. It was fun running with him. We were kind of running the same line, so I had to find some different lines that worked and got around him eventually with a slider. So yeah, even how screwed up the race was, it was still fun running with these guys for sure.
Did you think you had a race-winning car here tonight, though?
Yeah, I felt pretty fast. We had an incident early on. I think about everybody in the field was involved, so everybody probably had some sort of damage, it seemed like. So I guess that's not a huge disadvantage for me, but yeah, felt pretty good out here. Felt good all season long. I think it's a pretty good track. It comes in usually the middle bottom. You'll see more of the bottom in these 360s here coming up, and I just hope that that's a better race than these 305s were.
Absolutely. Finally, give your shout-outs and sell me some popcorn.
Yeah, shout out the boys at the Krite Sim racing team and the Can-Am racing team. Also got to shout out the Salty Dogs racing team for letting me hang out in their Discord tonight. Got to thank the Galen's Gourmet Popcorn, of course. Got to sell you some popcorn.
Yes, you do.
Head over to their website. Use code CART, CART at checkout, 15% off. They got tons of different flavors. They're all really good. Got to thank my parents and grandparents for watching and supporting, and you for putting this on, Marty.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great run.
Thank you.
Blake Chapman with the second place finish tonight. And now it's time to go to Cool Ray Victory Lane and talk with your race winner. Jeff Flero gets it done. Jeff, that was a wild one, but you managed to come out as the winner. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, it was for sure a wild one. Before the mess up with iRacing, I think I was up to 4th, which I was pretty happy with. And then after, I went back to 9th or 10th. And then eventually, even just as I crossed the line, it was showing Joe was ahead of me, and I was in 2nd until I crossed to 1st. But I had a good run, yeah.
Absolutely. How good was your race car tonight, and getting past Gary Taylor as well for the eventual win there? And obviously, Gary, he had a great race car tonight too, and it's tough to pass with the 305s.
Yeah, he was fast this afternoon as well.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I learned a little bit from the matinee race, and it seems to have paid off. We'll know for sure in the 360 race.
Absolutely. What are you expecting from that 360 race coming up?
A much slicker track, probably better racing as well. You know, there will be more passing.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Well, my lovely wife for letting me do it after the next dinner she made me in movie. You for the broadcast, Roger and all his team, Preston and everybody, all the admins. Of course, Glenn Stiers at Coast2Coast Speedway. He does a lot for racing in general, and he's doing a lot these days in racing.
Absolutely, man. All right, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Marty.
Jeff Flero takes the win in Cool Ray Victory Lanes. He gets it done. Now let's pop up those official race results here tonight. Flero takes the win. Blake Chapman 2nd. Gary Taylor 3rd. Randy Shreves 4th. Andy Patton 5th. Pat Boy 6th. Mike Vitale 7th. Jeff Barker 8th. The only drivers to finish on the lead lap. So with that being said, we will step aside and take a break. When we come back, the 360 sprints. It's time to change those engines here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network.
Hi, I'm Olivia Olson, Industrial Engineering Junior and Club Volleyball member here at Penn State. I'm very excited to say that Thon is right around the corner, just a month away. And for those of you that don't know, Thon is the largest student-run philanthropy in the entire world. They're committed to raising funds and supporting those who are affected by childhood cancer. This year, Thon is taking a very different meaning for me. Last March, just as the weather was getting ready to turn, we were all super excited to go play some more outdoor volleyball. One of my best buddies, Jesse King, went home for a routine checkup. Fast forward 60 days later, and he's just waking up from a medically induced coma. 6 months later, he's just being released from the hospital after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, kid's a fighter. He made it through chemo, radiation, and he's currently battling his way through extensive cognitive and physical therapies. He's doing great. He's finally letting out some of that personality that we've all been missing for so long. Luckily, the King family, thanks to 4 Diamonds, has yet to see a medical bill. There are a lot of families that can say the same out of all the good that's come out of this. So if you would like to join me and Club Volleyball in the fight against childhood cancer, please click the link to donate. Any size donation makes a world of difference for the King family and families alike. If donating at this time isn't the best option for you, please, 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 please share this video, because the more eyes on it, the better, and every dollar truly does make a difference. In addition, any thoughts, prayers, good vibes are always greatly appreciated, because we just want our best buddy back at school with us. All that being said, please always remember to never take anything for granted. Tell the people around you that you love them loud and often, and even the smallest acts can make a world of difference. Many thanks and lots of love from me and the Club Volleyball family and all of those being supported by Thon and 4 Diamonds.
Good day, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Movember. So Movember was started in 2003 in Australia and has become worldwide. For those unfamiliar, Movember is all about awareness of health issues for men. So a lot of men grow mustaches in Movember. That's where the name came from. And just so you know, I plan on celebrating Movember by having my prostate hocked out. So first of all, the prognosis is good because of early detection. So, and as a result of that, I have decided to declare myself the Coast2Coast Racing League Movember poster child for 2022. On a more serious note here, you know, the average age of our league is 41. So if you're on the top side of that, you need to get tested regularly. I'm talking PSA tests, the rubber glove, 2 seconds of discomfort for maybe a lifetime of living. Also, colonoscopies, every 5 or 10 years or whatever your doctor recommends, but you need to get those done. So just reminding everybody, it's something men aren't comfortable talking about or doing. Everybody thinks they're a tough guy. Let's go out and get tested for the sake of yourself, but more importantly, for the sake of your family. And, as they say, the life you save may be your own. So we're all in this together, guys. Reach out. You can reach out to me, or more importantly, reach out to your doctor. And in closing, I just want to, I want to know if Marty Sakala is going to grow a mustache for Movember.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network here, and yes, the mustache is still going on here. Will be shaved December 1st, though, just a warning. Sorry to you folks at home that were wondering. But anyway, set for our next hometown hero race. It's the 360 Sprints, and they're brought to you by the Salty Dogs Race Team. Car count has 16 drivers all set to go here for tonight. And drivers, I believe, are about to get into a driver's meeting at the moment. So, excuse me, let's talk about the point standings coming on in. Brought to you by All About Tie-Dye. And right now, it's pretty much Patrick Spangler that's won this championship. But 691 points for Spangler at the moment, with a 116-point lead on Randy Shreve. Shreve's with 574 points. Third in points, he's got 541. That is Jeff Barker. Fourth in points, 465 is Bob DeGood. And fifth in points with 456 is Blake Chapman. So just a couple of moments away here from beginning our 360 stuff here at the moment. And while we are at it, let's take a look at the times here so far. It's Bob DeGood that's currently the quickest. We were going from 13-second laps. We've gone down to 12-second laps. DeGood quickest at a 13:6.62. Andy Patton is second, 12:7.38. Randy Shreves is third, 12:8.05. Donovan Ross fourth, 12:8.15. And fifth is Joe Canellis with a 12:83.0. So ABR Sub Shop qualifying is just about ready to go here for our 16 drivers that will take to the track. And first driver to take to the track, let's see if we have them. First driver out on the racetrack. We could have races on here. It's Jeff Barker that arrives on the racetrack in the number 513. Ross will take his time. We'll bring you Devo in the number 5 machine. Ross will set the bar for us here on lap number 1. Kevin DeGood will get to times here instantly first. Ross, the quickest of everyone out there on the track at the moment, and he goes 12:8.56. Nice lap time for him. Gary Taylor goes third quick. Off the corner for Devo, slower on lap number 2. Let's go to Randy Shreves, who's second quick at a 12:9.45. So just about a tenth off the pace here. Can he improve on lap 2? He cannot. Joe Canellis, meanwhile, is fifth quick at a 13 even. But look at Blake Chapman here. Quickest in Sector 1. Got a green in Sector 2. Is this the moment? Quick time! 12:8.07. For the salesman making his pitch to why he's the favorite here tonight. Second lap time for Blake Chapman is off by 200, but a great lap time for him. Brian Dickens answers it back, 12:7.85. For the 122, a beautiful lap on his end. And he's the quickest of anyone in Sector 2. Faster! 12.784. Great lap. One more guy to take to the racetrack here. We've got under a minute left of qualifying. That's the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. He lost it there off of turn number 4. You may want to stop it right now. Nope, he decides to keep going. That's going to slow his lap down here. Don't know why he didn't put it into the pits. As you see, he's off on Sector 1, but this will be a better lap. And yep, that's why. He goes to 13th. Should have kept it. Should have told it back to the pits to get a warm lap, then one more lap. So, with that said, Brian Dickens wins the AVR Setup Shop Fast Time Award. And so we're ready for our first heat of the evening. Just only 2 heats for the 360s here. Heat 1 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Lineup looks like this. Joe Canellis and Randy Shreves on row 1. Donovan Ross and Brian Dickens, row 2. Jeff Flero and Jeff Barker, row 3. And then row 4 is Patrick Spangler and Roger Craig. Hello to Alexandre. Hope you're doing well today. Devo says Spangler driving with his wheel taped to the table tonight. From the looks of it, I believe so. So lights will go off here this time with 1 lap to the green flag. Lights are off and we'll go green this time by. Underway, winner starts on pole. Nearly 3 wide in the corners here as Shreves and Canellis go side by side. Ooh, Canellis got on the binders there. Bad entry for him. Shreves leads lap number 1. Canellis tucks in line behind Dickens in the 3 spot. Ross stays in 4th. Everyone transfers into the show here tonight, so this will determine our inside row here for our feature. Flero testing the bottom on Jeff Barker for 5th. That doesn't work. Brian Dickens, the quickest car on the track at the moment. 12.93. Better by 100th compared to Shreves' last lap, though. On board the 122. There he goes. Takes a peek underneath to get that nice apex off the corner. Shreves still drives it up top. Holds the lead. White flag out this time. Final lap in this heat race comes down to Shreves and Dickens. Dickens has a shot in 3 and 4. Have to send it here, entering the corner. Instead, Shreves goes to the middle, washes up the track. Randy Shreves wins the heat race. He's on pole. Roger Craig and Patrick Spangler crash coming to the checkers. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. And we'll get to Heat 2 here first. Show you the starting lineup brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Gary Taylor and Bob DeGood on row number 1. Pat Boyce, Blake Chapman, row 2. Andy Patton and Steve Bixler in row 3. John Rayner and Mike Vitale, row number 4. So let's go back to Spangler. And this is what happened coming to the checkered flag. Just a nice race for the last spot. And Craig just came up into Spangler, forced him in the wall. Craig got sideways. He was trying to stop it at the line, be like, that's my bad, I'll let you have it. You know what? I think, yeah, that's what he did. He let Spangler have the spot. A lot of class there to the Bass man on that. That's a nice move there. Roger knew it was his fault. I don't want to be in that starting spot. That's why Roger Craig is one of the nicest guys you'll meet here in this series. So we're ready to go for the green flag here. Winner starts on the outside of row 1. DeGood and Taylor will bring us down. Oh, Taylor, nice slide up in front of DeGood to have the lead early here. Chapman pulls away from Pat Boyce. Side by side for the race lead. Bad entry for DeGood allows Chapman to take the 2 spot. Chapman looks for a run up to the outside. Tries to pressure Taylor to make a mistake. Now sends her underneath. Let's go for the slide job. Wanted a shorter entry in the corner. 3 to go in this heat race. This is your battle for the start of second position here. Loser starts in 4th. 2 laps to go. Blake Chapman has a shot here at Gary Taylor. Maybe the longest 2 laps of Gary Taylor's life here. Nice defense from Gary to prevent Blake from going to the inside to avoid a slide job. Final lap underway, and Blake goes for it right here. This is a risky move. Slide job from Chapman. Gives Gary the room. Blake's got a chance here off at 4. Slides up in front of Taylor. Taylor in the wall he goes. Spins around. Chapman wins it. Oh, look at that ride for Bixler. Hang on, Steven. Well, Gary just gave the moniker, if you ain't first, you're last. Gary got on the brakes, up the racetrack, and then just rode the wall. That's what went down, so. All right, we're going to step aside here. We'll keep the monitor on for the warm-up watch, brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Feature coming up next. Ready to go racing here for 30 laps with the 360 sprints. Let's meet the field here in the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. Randy Shreves and Blake Chapman make up the front row. Randy Shreves in the 56, Blake Chapman the salesman in the 20. Row number 2, Brian Dickens in the 122 and Bob DeGood in the 7. Row 3, Joe Dirk Canellis in the 1 and Pat Boyce in the 41. Row 4, Devo, Donovan Ross in the 5 and Andy Patton in the 87. Rounding out the top 10, Jeff Barker, the Hall of Famer in the 513, and JR John Rayner in the 302. Row 6, Jeff Blairow in the 200 and Mike Vitale in the 213. Rest of the field looks like this. Row 7, the high side banger Patrick Spangler in the 39 and the mayor Steve Bixler in the 75. And rounding out the field is the best man Roger Craig in the 747 and Gary Taylor in the 34. Field just about set to roll off here. Picks to win. I'm gonna go with the salesman Blake Chapman here to take the win tonight, as long as there's no glitches. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace truck. We go green. This time by. The truck is in. Just moments away from taking the green flag. 30 laps. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? There's always a favorite. Pick it ASAP. Randy Shreves and Blake Chapman will bring us to the green flag. Glad you could join us. We've upgraded the engines from 305 to 360s. It's time to bring the action. Oh, Ross, hang on to her. Stack up, middle of the corner. One car around. It's Andy Patton. We go caution. That turned out less dangerous than it expected to be. Just a solo car incident from everyone checking up. Here's what happened to the 87. Just contact. John Rayner just came in there way too strong. Then Flaro got into him. Here's another angle for you here. Some slight contact with the 200, and look at this camera angle. Woo, gets you a nice view of the wheel spin. The drivers are trying to hang on and keep it straight. Look at that. Look at the way the car shakes. Man, I love iRacing. So we'll try this once again, and luckily we've got everyone in the right places. Randy Shreves leads, Blake Chapman second, Brian Dickens third, Bob DeGood fourth, Joe Canellis fifth. Same starting lineup with the exception of Patton, who's dropped 8 spots. Get the lineup here updated in just a moment. 1 lap complete. Chapman inside for the race lead. Can the salesman take it from the LGR 56? Off the corner, not just yet. But Chapman immediately on the clear, gets past Randy Shreves. So he takes that spot away. Let's look at the mess for fourth here. Canellis took the spot away from DeGood, but look at Ross up on the high side rolling. Oh, look out at 2. Spangler, Craig up on 2 wheels. Bixler around, and I think maybe more. Caution flag is out. Second one of the evening for our 360s. And here's what happened. Spangler was the first one that went sideways, racing with Roger Craig. Oh, it was Rayner that was the first one that went sideways. And a lot of cars got sideways. Let's ride on board with Spangler and see if give us a nice view from inside the car. Watch the paint car in front. That's Rayner. Did he just lose it by himself? Yeah, that car is about to go sideways. A lot of damage to that fuel bar, though. And here's an onboard with Bixler. That was Rayner that he got into there in that situation. Surprisingly, we had no flips in that. So set to come back to green. Let's reset the field. Blake Chapman leads. Randy Shreve second. Brian Dickens third. Joe Canellis fourth. Bob DeGood is fifth. Nice restart for Blake across the line. See who tries to make the first move. No one amongst the top five. Everyone just staying patient for right now as we speak. Best battle on the racetrack. Let's go to that spot for 7th. Donovan Ross has it. Barker looks to go 2 for 1 on a slider. Ross went off the cushion. Went over it, and that allows Barker to go 2 for 1 up to 7th. But look at the run from Flero here. Our 305 winner. Up 3 spots for the drop the green flag. Vitale nearly gets sideways. Looks to go around the outside on Barker here. Got Ross and Vitale as well for a spot. Let's go to 5th. Bob DeGood and Pat Boyce. Boyce wants to take it. He's started from 6th position in this race. Barker looks to make some moves once again. How about Flero though? Up, he's riding that cushion really well. Already up 4 spots for the drop of the green flag. And look at this. He tries to thread the needle. That's bold from Flero, but he cuts it back and decides instead to go top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. 10 laps are down, 20 laps to go. Donovan Ross as well, also riding that cushion too. Ooh, and almost gets into the 200. Ross had to back off just a bit. DeGood and Boyce still racing for 5th. Oh, Boyce caught the wall and around goes Flero. Up into traffic, Boyce collects Vitale and on his lid taking a nap. That's a tough break for Flero, man. What a fast hot rod he had. Well, you saw it live, but let's get you another shot here of Pat. Did he get the wall off turn 2? Ooh, car went up the track. Yeah, he just lost a little bit. It just came down. It's a wild spin into the grass of Lucas Oil Racing Speedway. Roger just did a nice job to avoid it. Let's ride on board. This is going to be an ugly onboard here. Yeah. Car lost it, then he just lost off of 2, then put too much right foot in it. Nice texture there, obviously. See if we can get you a slow-mo shot as well. Ooh, man! iRacing cameras are selling once again. Though that camera was originally pointed at Jeff Flero as he resets. Blake Chapman will bring us back to green. Shreve, Dickens, Canellis DeGood, the top 5. 12 laps go up in the books this time. I'd watch out for Devo closely here on this restart, see if he makes the moves, and there he goes, sends it immediately to the top shelf. but doesn't come in for a while. And you see, Batten got forced out of the way by, I think it was Roger Craig. I'm not too sure, though. As everyone resets, look at Dickens. Challenges Shreves for the 2 spot. Good race happening there as you ride on board with the 56. Back to caution, this time Gary Taylor, and I believe Jeff Flero as well was also involved. Rayner and Spangler too. Slight contact there in the corner. Ooh, the captain just got into Bixler. No, he didn't even have any yaw in the corner. Then comes down to Spangler, head on in the 39. But I thought we had something else with Flero. Been him and Rayner. Ooh, yeah. Rayner forces his way past Flero. That incident happens. Oh, my. Oh, no. Jeff, come on, man. You're much better than that. Jeff pretty much telling Patrick, I did not like what you... I'm sorry. Jeff pretty much telling JR, I did not like what you did there. Oh boy, there is going to be an interesting conversation tonight on what happened there. So we'll go cross flags this time, 1 to the green flag. Brian Dickens would be the one to watch closely on this restart. He looked pretty fast on that restart. If we stayed green, he could have had 2nd. So it's Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, Brian Dickens, Joe Canellis, Bob DeGood, the top 5. Biggest mover, Roger Craig up 6 spots. Everyone riding the bottom amongst the top 5. You look at Rossi. Ooh, look at that run he got off of turn 2. Andy Good for 5th. Watch this man go. Up into 5th. Now what happens here? Can he get 4th on Joe Canellis? Can't just get close to him yet on the entry of the corner. But he may surprise Joe Dirt here. Look at this. He's got to run. He's got to run, but Canellis cuts him off. He gets it on the entry of the corner big time. He doesn't have to let up the gas, though. He's keeping it full throttle. Look at this run he gets again off turn 2. Canellis just about gives him the room. Ross almost gets into the wall. Now do the top 3 decide. Let's test the top of the racetrack, see if that works out. Ross is the only one at the top that's found some secret moisture. But Dickens may say, hey, man, I want to play too. I want to steal the cookies from you. It's like, how high can you go? And Ross got up to 4th as the caution flies. I believe it's Gary Taylor and John Rayner again. John Rayner's got to be somewhere near 12X. If I were to guess, probably 10X. Let's see what happened to the captain, though, first. Just losing by himself entering turn 3 off of Pat Boyce, and sideways he goes. Just a racing deal there. And then what happened to Rayner? Back green, more contact with Flero. That put him in the infield. He's, man, oh man. And he spins another time, gets it back in the infield. John Rayner, man, it's like a bumper car at the moment. He let the leaders go by there too, almost got into them. So we'll go 1 to green this time, and we'll be 10 laps to go. Guys, for the technical difficulties. That was not internet related, just a heads up. That was me hitting the wrong button by mistake. But don't worry, we are here. We're coming back to green, 8 laps to go. Caution, by the way, came out for a Steve Bixler spin. Nice restart from Blake Chapman. Dickens and Ross test the top out to see if they close in on Randy Shreves. Shreves tries to cut them off with 7 to go. Ross still wants a run. This time he goes downstairs on Dickens. Von Devo, I got to keep it up to the top. May have to come down to a slide job from Ross here. Who knows? Dickens runs the middle groove. And here comes D Good. Looks like that's Canellis. And he's working the bottom of the track. He's got bite in it. What a race this is for the bottom step of the podium. 5 to go. Ross has something. May have to pull the crisscross move. Decides to cut it back. 4 to go. Oh, Ross is there. Ross is there on Dickens. Oh, man. Can't get the yaw like Dickens could. Couldn't get the speed as well, I should say, too. Oh, but look at this. Burst of speed off for 4 if that car didn't get sideways on corner exit. 3 laps to go. Meanwhile, Blake Chapman leads by 2.1 seconds, and Ross went way up the track. He almost got the wall. But look at the run he's got up for 4 Dickens. Oh, Ross on the wall. They touch. They touch. Ross goes around. Ross is around. Oh, my. D Good is stopped. Barker is in it. All guts, no glory. Oh, my goodness. Lot of hard hits there in that situation. Let's give you another angle. What happened here off of turn 4? Donovan had the lane, then he caught the wall and just came down to Dickens. And look at the good. Wow, what a camera shot that is. Devo just said we tried. Sorry, boys. Hey, that's all you can say there at the end. He went for it. Now, as long as Dickens didn't spin out, yeah, he did right there. Man, that's violent there. Dickens was involved in the accident. I believe he has pulled it in the pits. He has. He's good, and then DeGood comes flying in. And here's the onboard with Bobo. That took out 3 of the top 5 drivers. Wow! It's like he didn't even stop. It's one of the worst hits I've ever seen. All right, the updated top 5. Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, Joe Canellis, Roger Craig up 11 spots. Let's see the Bass Man get a podium. So we're back to green. This is overtime, by the way. 2 laps to go. Randy Shreves wants to see, hey, does this stop work? About to find out. Trying to make it work. Just don't go too much over. White flag's out, meanwhile. 1 lap to go. He made a pitch earlier in qualifying that he was going to be a threat to win this race. Pitch has been complete. Signed the paycheck. Blake Chapman takes the win. Shreve second, Canellis third, Craig fourth, Spangler fifth. Wow, we only had half the cars in that race on the lead lap. No pose for photos. So we'll get the top 3 in here for interviews. It was a fun race to watch. Outside of the leader, that was a lot of fun to watch, that race. So we need Joe. Joe's in. We just need Randy and Blake. Don't know if Randy is in a room of his own. He is not, so... Well, we'll begin with the proceedings anyway. We'll begin with Joe Canellis here. Joe, fun run for you. Walk us through your race.
It was a blast, Marty. I just had a somewhat decent qualifying, not real comfortable at this track, and just tried to hold on. Found a little bit working down low. Didn't really have anything for anybody up front, but was just trying to hold on.
Are you surprised after all of that you were able to get a third place finish with the way the racing was tonight?
Yeah, for as few cars, the track was pretty slicked up, and I think I was probably fourth or fifth there when a couple cars got tied up in front of me and allowed me and Roger to sneak through. Always fun to race against him, and we've got a little battle going on.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Well, the Salty Dogs, of course. Galen's Popcorn. It's the holiday season. You guys jump out there and grab you some popcorn. Probably stole Blake's thunder there, but I thought I would do it. I just love that stuff. And Tracy Barkhammer, my girl, thank you for putting up with me, allowing me to do this. And of course, we let the dogs out for you, and World of Sports podcast. I'm sorry, and you guys, thank you.
Y'all are making me want popcorn now. I don't get it. It's like a late night snack for me. So, all right, we'll let you go. Great run.
Thank you.
Oops, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't expect that from Joe at the end there. All right, second place finisher, Randy Shreves. Randy, just talk about your race tonight as well as a whole.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough race anyway. This track's always tough, especially when it's on the bottom. And yeah, Blake's just definitely got this bottom figured out. I'm still, I don't know. I like the top a lot better. I wish I would have actually tried it a little sooner. It just felt real fast there the last 3 laps. I felt like maybe I would have had more for him if I'd tried that sooner. But I don't know. I just seen he was fast down there on the bottom, tried to follow his footsteps, and yeah, that's a tough thing to do.
I think you kind of just talked about it there, but what more as well did you need for Blake in that run?
Mainly for him to just screw up, which he very rarely does that.
Okay. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Coulter West at Redline Race Designs for always making my car look awesome. One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, Coast to Coast for putting on this awesome league, you, Marty, for the broadcast, everybody at
I know you got a lot on your mind, man. You're speechless on this one, but hey, we'll let you go, man. Great job.
Thanks, Marty.
Absolutely. Randy Shreves, our second place finisher. And now, let's close this out as we're in Cool Ray Victory Lane with the salesman, Blake Chapman. Blake, how good was this run tonight for you?
It felt pretty good, Marty. Just put the car on the bottom and let her eat down there. I was digging and clawing all night. I wasn't about ready to give it up as long as there's moisture coming out of the corners there on the bottom. That's where I was going to be all night long, and the car felt really good. Definitely a lot better than the 305 race. Not so much confusion and chaos, so that's always a plus. But yeah, again, just felt really, really good out there tonight.
Did you notice the top start to come in for the guys like Dickens and Ross? Because they were coming in quick.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where they were running at, but the top did look inviting. I got to say, I was giving it a look, but I definitely was going to go up there as long as I could hold the bottom. I don't know, maybe those guys were making it work, and I've seen it. Some guys have made it work in the past couple of weeks, but I think the bottom was still the faster line for sure.
What do you expect for this big block race coming up?
Well, I won't be there. I got to go eat, but I hope it's a great race for you, Marty.
You got to go eat some popcorn, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, who do you want to give shout-outs to once again?
Parents, grandparents for watching and supporting all the boys down at Kreitz Sim Racing and the K&M Racing team. Get a shout out to Salty Dogs Racing team for letting me hop in their Discord tonight. And of course, I got to shout out Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Make a great Christmas gift with the holidays coming up. The Thanksgiving table is complete without some Galen's Gourmet popcorn. Of course, head over to their website, use code CART at checkout for some of their delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you for putting this on, Marty. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving and your Bills don't let you down.
You as well. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Bills. All right. Blake Chapman, the winner here tonight in the 360 Sprint Cars here. Nice run for him in Coolray Victory Lane. Let's pot up your results here from tonight. Give that Bass man a mug, man. Give him a holiday Christmas gift immediately. Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, Joe Canellis, Roger Craig, Patrick Spangler, Mike Vitale, Gary Taylor, Jeff Barker all finish on the lead lap. That was some race there once again. So when we come back, big block time, baby, here at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Hi, my name is Olivia Olson. I am an industrial engineering senior and club volleyball member here at Penn State.
And I'm Alex Ryan, a computer science senior and another club volleyball member. And we're excited to announce that we're planning to dance in Thon 2023.
Thon is a 46-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon aimed towards raising funds to support those affected by childhood cancer. It is the largest student-run philanthropy in the entire world. We'll be dancing in honor of one of our best friends, Jesse King. Jesse is also part of club volleyball, but a lot of us would consider him family. Immediately, freshman year, Alex and I clicked with Jesse and all the other new members of club volleyball. We went to the dining hall together for a lot of our meals, spent weekends together, and ended up going on vacations together. It really does feel like family to us.
Going into junior year, Jesse was supposed to live with myself and a few of our other friends, but he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in March of 2021. He's been through chemotherapy, it's been a year since he's finished radiation, and we can officially say that he has no active cancer. Currently, he is undergoing physical and cognitive therapies.
Thanks to Thon and Four Diamonds, the King family and many other families have yet to see a bill related to medical expenses, hotels, parking, gas fees, and all other related travel expenses. It just goes to show that every dollar raised truly does go a distance. It allows families to focus on the recovery of their child as opposed to financial stress.
Because of this, we've got to spend a lot more time with Jesse and his family, who are the nicest people in the world. They throw awesome tailgates, and every time we see them, a little bit more of the Jesse that we know and love peeks through.
Until then, we are fully committed to the mission of Thon and Four Diamonds by raising funds to support the Kings and all the other families affected by childhood cancer.
With Thon less than 100 days away, we're asking that you consider donating. Regardless of the amount, it will make an immense impact. To donate to our donor drive, please scan the QR code or click the included link.
If donating isn't in your cards today, please share this video with those around you. Help us get our fundraising past the finish line.
This families can't afford to lose.
Good day, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Movember. So Movember was started in 2003 in Australia and has become worldwide. For those unfamiliar, Movember is all about awareness of health issues for men. So a lot of men grow mustaches in Movember. That's where the name came from. And just so you know, I plan on celebrating Movember by having my prostate hocked out. So first of all, the prognosis is good because of early detection. So, and as a result of that, I have decided to declare myself the Coast2Coast Racing League Movember poster child for 2022. On a more serious note here, you know, the average age of our league is 41. So if you're on the top side of that, you need to get tested regularly. I'm talking PSA tests, the rubber glove, 2 seconds of discomfort for maybe a lifetime of living. Also, colonoscopies, every 5 or 10 years or whatever your doctor recommends, but you need to get those done. So just reminding everybody, it's something men aren't comfortable talking about or doing. Everybody thinks they're a tough guy. Let's go out and get tested for the sake of yourself, but more importantly, for the sake of your family. And, as they say, the life you save may be your own. So we're all in this together, guys. Reach out. You can reach out to me, or more importantly, reach out to your doctor. And in closing, I just want to, I want to know if Marty Sakala is going to grow a mustache for Movember.
Hi, my name is Olivia Olson. I am an industrial engineering senior and club volleyball member here at Penn State.
And I'm Alex Ryan, a computer science senior and another club volleyball member. And we're excited to announce that we're planning to dance in Thon 2023.
Thon is a 46-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon aimed towards raising funds to support those affected by childhood cancer. It is the largest student-run philanthropy in the entire world. We'll be dancing in honor of one of our best friends, Jesse King. Jesse is also part of club volleyball, but a lot of us would consider him family. Immediately, freshman year, Alex and I clicked with Jesse and all the other new members of club volleyball. We went to the dining hall together for a lot of our meals, spent weekends together, and ended up going on vacations together. It really does feel like family to us.
Going into junior year, Jesse was supposed to live with myself and a few of our other friends, but he was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in March of 2021. He's been through chemotherapy, it's been a year since he's finished radiation, and we can officially say that he has no active cancer. Currently, he's undergoing physical and cognitive therapies.
Thanks to Thon and Four Diamonds, the King family and many other families have yet to see a bill related to medical expenses, hotels, parking, gas fees, and all other related travel expenses. It just goes to show that every dollar raised truly does go a distance. It allows families to focus on the recovery of their child as opposed to financial stress.
Because of this, we've got to spend a lot more time with Jesse and his family, who are the nicest people in the world. They throw awesome tailgates, and every time we see them, a little bit more of the Jesse that we know and love peeks through.
Until then, we are fully committed to the mission of Thon and Four Diamonds by raising funds to support the Kings and all the other families affected by childhood cancer.
With Thon less than 100 days away, we're asking that you consider donating. Regardless of the amount, it will make an immense impact. To donate to our donor drive, please scan the QR code or click the included link.
If donating isn't in your cards today, please share this video with those around you. Help us get our fundraising past the finish line.
This is a race that families can't afford to lose.
Good day, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Movember. So Movember was started in 2003 in Australia and has become worldwide. For those unfamiliar, Movember is all about awareness of health issues for men. So a lot of men grow mustaches in Movember. That's where the name came from. And just so you know, I plan on celebrating Movember by having my prostate hocked out. So first of all, the prognosis is good because of early detection. So, and as a result of that, I have decided to declare myself the Coast2Coast Racing League Movember poster child for 2022. On a more serious note here, the average age of our league is 41. So if you're on the top side of that, you need to get tested regularly. I'm talking PSA tests, the rubber glove, 2 seconds of discomfort for maybe a lifetime of living. Also, colonoscopies, every 5 or 10 years or whatever your doctor recommends, but you need to get those done. So just reminding everybody, it's something men aren't comfortable talking about or doing. Everybody thinks they're a tough guy. Let's go out and get tested for the sake of yourself, but more importantly, for the sake of your family. And, as they say, the life you save may be your own. So we're all in this together, guys. Reach out. You can reach out to me, or more importantly, reach out to your doctor. And in closing, I just want to, I want to know if Marty Sakala is going to grow a mustache for Movember.
We welcome you back to the Coast2Coast Racing Network, where we are just moments away from getting the big blocks underway, brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Well, we've got just a small car count here for the big blocks this evening. 10 about to take shape. And before we get things going here with the big blocks, practice, by the way, underway here at the moment. Here are how your point standings look coming in, brought to you by All About Tie-Dye. Currently, Brandon Templeton, it's a tight race at the moment. Brandon Templeton with a 3-point lead on Brian Lawson coming on in. Yeah, it's that close at the moment. And then 7 points back in third is Kurt Schatzer. We've got a three-way battle for the championship at the moment. Fourth in points with 554, Jeff Barker. Fifth in points, 545, is Joseph Grandy. So we are at it now for ABR Setup Shop qualifying. We should have only 2 heats for you this evening. First driver to make their way onto the racetrack is Brandon Templeton in car number 31. Schatzer quickest of anyone in Sector 1 at the moment. Templeton in Sector 2 here. Templeton sets the bar 15:2:35, but Kurt Schatzer quickest 15:2:21. Let's see the times if they start to improve here inch by inch. Let's get Templeton's time here. Slower on lap number 2. Meanwhile, for Kurt Schatzer, also slower in that side of things. Randy Shreve's third quick on lap 1, 15:2:84. Jeff Flair also looking pretty good on lap number 1. Here comes his time at the start-finish line. Fifth quick, 15:36. Shreve's across the line slower, 15:41. Flair better in Sector 1, meanwhile. How's it in Sector 2? Look at the yaw throughout the corner. That's a perfect lap, in my opinion. Slower, though, in Sector 2. Does put him up to 4th on the track. Here's Brian Lawson. Quick time! 15:1:52 for Brian Lawson. Doesn't even have to worry about a second lap. He's got it. Oh, he don't care anyway. He's still going to do one. Wow, what a lap. Better by over half a tenth. Going to see here if Harold Klump comes out to qualify. Right now, Lawson's got the quick time award. So Lawson will score at 15:1:52. Schatzer 15:2:21. Templeton third, 15:2:35. And so we're ready for heat race number 1. Heat 1 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Here's how the lineup looks. 5 cars in each heat. Jeff Barker and Jeff Flaro make up our front row. Row number 2 is Brandon Templeton and Brian Lawson. Starting from 5th tonight is Bob DeGood. Let us know who you're rooting for, by the way, in the chat. We'll be sure to give you a shout out on the air. Ready for the green flag. Winner starts on the pole position. 5 drivers take the green for heat 1, and we are underway. Flero off the corner, just a little bit loose, gives Barker the lead early. Lawson and Templeton go at it for third. Lawson may try to thread the needle as Flero went up the track. Look at this! What a move from the driver of the 9! Up into P2, Lawson goes and now wants that race lead on Jeff Barker. Flero just about scrapes the wall. Nice clear from the 9. Barker tries to counter back, but he cannot. Lawson up 3 spots. He's moved everyone else down a spot except for Templeton. Andy Good. Here's Templeton. Down he goes for second. 3 to go in heat 1. He's right on board with the 31. Barker right next to him. The front left wheel. Don't even need those with a big block modified, huh? Final lap is underway. Barker clears Templeton for second. We know who's going to win it. It's going to be Lawson. Barker edges out Templeton at the line for P2. Flero and DeGood, that's the top 5. Now we move to heat 2 here. Everyone all set to go here. This is brought to you by Magnum Race Design. Only a call of 4 on the grid. And so that means we will have only 4 drivers for this heat race. Chris Steele, Mike Vitale, row 1. Randy Shreves, Kurt Schatzer, row number 2. Set to take the green flag. This will determine the outside row here tonight. Ooh, Steele sideways into Shreves. A lot of contact there. Gets the outside line to pull away. That'll help out Schatzer get a better spot. Battle for first, best battle for third. Steele clears Shreves for the spot, able to hang on back to it. I think Shreves for the assist in keeping his car straight. Schatzer was able to pick up 2. Vitale was able to pick up 1. They're leaning on each other for third still. Good action here. Halfway home in this heat race. Steele still hanging, Vitale still hanging on to that lead on Schatzer. Shreves slides up on the 80, and Randy has P3 back. Carling separates first and second. White flag is out, final lap underway. Here are the checkers as Vitale holds on to the win on Schatzer by about 3 car lengths. Streaves and Steele round out the field. So it's Flatline Racing Bodies warm-up watch time. When we come back, it's feature time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Cool Ray, the Coast to Coast Racing League, and all the fine drivers and sponsors, we thank you for choosing to spend your Wednesday night with us. Let's meet the 9 drivers that are ready to take the green flag for 30 laps here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Super Dirt Car Series starting lineup. On the front row, Brian Lawson in the 9. Back 3 points for the championship lead unofficially. And next to him is Michael Vitale. Row number 2, Jeff Barker in the 513. And Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row 3, Brandon Templeton in the 31 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 4, Jeff Flero in the 200 and Chris Steele in the 80. And in 9th tonight, Bob DeGood. As you get a nice view of the Lucas Oil Speedway, just about 1 1/4 laps away from taking the green flag. I'll give you my pick to win. I'm going to go Lawson for the pole position. We'll see what happens here. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace truck. We are 1 lap to the green flag. Your top 3 in the championship, all separated by 7 points, and it could all change heading into next week's championship finale. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done tonight? We're about to find out. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? In the words of Shane Andrews, wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. It's showtime here at Lucas Oil. Side by side off the corner, Vitale wants the advantage on Lawson. Off of 4, who leads lap 1, Vitale takes it. Schatzer moves up to the 3rd spot, luckily, but he goes to the middle, nearly 4 wide the corners. Templeton nearly hits the Uke tire. And a championship battle here on the line. This could propel someone up into 2nd in points, entering the final race of the season. Lawson up on the preferred line as Vitale rocks on the middle. Lawson stays behind the leader. Schatzer with a run underneath though for 2nd. Oh, they even touch. Lawson up in the air. Oh, can he save it? He can barely. Oh my. Crisscross move. How did Lawson keep 2nd? I don't know. And he slides up on Schatzer. Here we go. Everyone on the top. Schatzer hanging on to P2 at the moment. Plays some defense on Lawson. Decides to invert time in the corner. Randy Shreves also wants to be a part of it. A 3-car battle for 2nd as we speak. Vitale, meanwhile, starts to pull away at the moment. He's got about a half-second lead on Kurt Schatzer. Almost a bump from the 9 to the 218. Brandon Templeton still stuck in 7th spot. He's dropped 2 spots for the drop of the green flag. And there you see Brandon. Looks for 6th on Jeff Flero here. Oh, Flero in the wall. Wheelies it, but keeps it on the feet. And still nearly got into him. Meanwhile, Schatzer has started to pull away from Lawson and reeled in Vitale last time. Better by just about a 1/10 of a second. Had the fastest lap of the race. Another 1/10 he closes in. Takes a peek underneath. Looks for the race lead on Vitale. See how Lawson comes into a factor of this if they stay side by side. Lawson pulls up. Excuse me, Schatzer pulls up to the quarter panel. They stay side by side down the back. Schatzer may have to tuck it back in line. He tries to get the bite off at turn 4. He does. 11 laps are in the books. It's starting to be a 3-car jam session for this lead if they stay side by side. Door panel to door panel. Schatzer leading on Vitale to stay in this fight. It's a great race at the moment. Vitale still scored as the leader for those at home. Oh, this is going to be way too close here at the line once again. Right on board here with Lawson. Give you a nice view of what he's seeing. Schatzer almost got it there once more. And the slider from Schatzer. Vitale pulls a crisscross move. Here we go. Coming to the cross flags. Does Schatzer lead at the start-finish line is the question. Vitale comes up at the line and Schatzer. New leader at the halfway point. And he clears Vitale. 3 wide into turn 3. Here comes Lawson with the edge. Meanwhile, Templeton, for those wondering, there you see him on the bottom of your screen. He's moved up for 4th. There you see him. He starts to reel in the top 3. Better by about a 1/10 compared to every other driver in front of him. So Templeton has the best car on the racetrack at the moment. 12 to go. Jeff Flero has crashed. We'll see if a caution flag comes out. No caution. Flero, I believe, has kept it straight. He does. We stay green. Vitale still all over Schatzer, but here comes the points leader. Going to be very close between the top three entering the final race next week. We're keep in mind, we do have a drop that has to be utilized. Look at Templeton in the corner. He's so good entering the turns here at Lucas Oil. Nine laps to go as the leaders start to close in on Flero. This could get interesting. Here's Templeton for third. Vitale sent it in a little bit into turn 3. Didn't go for the slider, but let's watch that race for third between your top two in points. Here goes Brandon to the inside. Thought about the slider. There's some contact down the back. That's just to set up the turns, obviously. No harm, no foul. Seven laps remain. Schatzer trying to blow the door open. He's got a 0.4 of a second gap on Vitale. Five fingers will come up from Barney this time, signaling 5 laps to go. Schatzer, by the way, on Jeff Flero's bumper now to the inside. Flero lets him go, but maybe not on Vitale. And maybe not on Lawson. This could get dicey. Oh, touch for third. Flero around, caution is out. Upside down goes the 200, and this changes everything. Lawson pretty much told him, get the heck out of our way. And as he scored third of the line, I think they're giving it to Templeton. This just got a whole lot interesting, and a single file restart's coming up here. Show you once again here on Flero. That was the one that didn't cause the caution flag. This is the one that did. Which just said move. That flip actually put Flero on his lid. There's the touch. Then the car just starts to bike. All 4 wheels off the ground. Look at that ride. Randy Shreves just barely misses it. Right on board here with Jeff real quick. He's just hanging on for dear life. And this is the lick that put the nail in the coffin. Back to green, meanwhile. We're coming to 3 laps to go, and it's 3 wide for third. Still watching the race for the race lead. Vitale still over Schatzer. Templeton's up to third. Lawson fell back to fourth. 2 laps to go. Vitale wants to spoil Schatzer's party. That could be big towards the championship. Vitale just played it safe. I think he wants to set up the slider at the white flag. But I think there's a big gap for Schatzer. Ooh, Vitale closes in just a bit here. He's got to set it up here, though. Does he? No, he keeps the top, doesn't go for it. Off the corner, Kurt Schatzer, Superman, with a big win here tonight at Lucas Oil. And I'm not sure what the gap is going to look like, but it's going to be very close between Templeton and Schatzer and Lawson once again. It will probably be a spread of maybe 12 points or so. Talk with the top three, and again, we're so glad you could join us here tonight all night long. As we're wrapping things up here a little bit early than normal. So all we just need Schatzer and Templeton, and then we'll be good to go. We got Brandon, so we can bring him on in here. Let's begin with him. Brandon, nice third place run and a great comeback. What happened at the beginning of the race that caused you to fall back to 7th?
Well, I started back there pretty far because I only got third in my heat, but just trying to be patient and battle up through there, pick my spots. Sometimes this track can be a little tricky to pass on, but you just gotta be patient, work your way up there, and take advantage when guys make little bobbles, and get her up there and get it cleared and slide in front of them.
When that caution came out, did you think you had something for Kurt and Michael?
No, not really. I was actually kind of disappointed when it came out because, Kurt's my teammate, and he was up there. I knew he was heading for a win, and I had just gotten by Lawson because he'd gotten tangled up with the lap car or whatever that caused the caution. So I was thinking, all right, I got third, and then the caution came out, and had to battle it out with Brian again, but he's a hell of a competitor, and going to be a tight points battle between him and Kurt, I think.
So next week, gonna be a great race for the championship. What do you expect?
Well, I think I've got to throw away a race, so those guys will be able to add a little bit more points than I will to their total if I am figuring it correctly. So I'll be rooting for Kurt, but I don't have anything against Brian. Just got to root for my teammates. But awesome, it's been awesome racing with them all season, and it'll come down to the wire. Hopefully, it's a clean, good race.
What do I give shout-outs to?
I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank, part of Malvern Bank. Check him out, malvernbank.com or dirttrackbank.com. Got Your Six Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing with Joe, Kurt, and Brian. Maley's Makery, Extreme Images by Ashley. Big C's Lawn Care, you for doing the stream, Roger and everyone doing the stuff behind the scenes and putting on the league and everyone watching at home.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job. Congrats. And good luck next week. Brandon Templeton with a third-place finish. Let's go to our second-place finisher in Michael Vitale. Mike, that's got to be tough, leading early, and then Kurt got you for the lead there at the halfway point. What more did you need?
Just probably a little more gear, but you know what? He ran a hell of a race. He earned that win 100%. I tried to give him a little battle at the end. I usually run, on the bottom more than I do the top, but I got a little brave today and went up there and kept it up top. But hats off to Kurt. That was a hell of a race.
How good was this car for you tonight, especially on the outside line?
I tell you, the car was real good tonight. I had a lot of drive coming off both corners, so I was very happy with it.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I want to give a shout-out to my wife, Billy Roberts over at Gears Unlimited, Outlaw Racing, Murano Racing, Vitale Motorsports, you for doing what you do up there, and Coast to Coast for putting this on for us weekly.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job.
I appreciate it, boss.
All right, that's our second-place finisher in Mike Vitale. And now we go to Cool Ray Victory Lane to talk with your feature winner tonight, Kurt Schatzer, Superman. That's a big statement win heading into next week, man. Walk us through it.
Oh, thank you there, Marty. I'm glad to see you out there. Yeah, I'm happy with the win. Coming from, I think, fourth there. Brian, he's a hell of a racer up here. I feel horrible making a little bit of contact with him. I looks like I might have just floated up a little bit too high on him, made contact. I'm glad he was able to straighten it up and finish it out. And Michael, he ran me clean, and I had a little something for him, I felt like.
That was a fun race, though, as a whole. That race did not disappoint. What were your thoughts when you saw that caution fly?
Oh, man, you know what I thought. I didn't want to see that at all. I felt like I had a pretty good stretch on Michael there, but hey, there wasn't too many more laps there. I felt like I could hold it off.
All right, you got me now? There we go. I apologize.
Don't
My mic was just barely unplugged.
Nah, you're all good.
Next week, big one for the championship. Just give us the thoughts coming on in.
I think Brian might got this one wrapped up. I had a couple bad runs there, and he was strong all season. He was consistent. I gotta give my hats off to him. He ran a good race in this season.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
The team there, Hammer Down Racing, Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, Joe Halter, the sponsors, Dirt Track Bank. They do a lot to help racers around the country, and Got Your Six Racing Network. You up in the broadcast, Marty, you do an amazing job on there. I love watching you back here. Yeah, Roger Preston giving us a place to race.
Congratulations on this one, man.
Thank you.
Kurt Schatzer, another dub for him tonight. Superman celebrating Cool Ray Victory Lane. Cool Ray's goal is to make sure that race tradition of 100% customer satisfaction lives on today. Cool Ray is proud of their reputation of providing excellent service to homeowners and businesses in Georgia. Their mission is to continue to build long-lasting relationships with their customers through their winning spirit and commitment to 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Top 10 from tonight: Kurt Schatzer, Mike Vitale, Brandon Templeton, Brian Lawson, Randy Shreves, Jeff Barker, Chris Steele, Bob DeGood, Jeff Flero, Harold Klump in this one. So, again, next week, championship night, starting at 7 p.m. with the 305s. Here's the schedule the rest of the week here for you. Thursday night, we go to Thursday Night Thunder at I-55. In addition, another broadcast with the Xfinity Series at Charlotte. Friday night is Friday Night Lights at Cedar Lake. Again, for Thursday night as well, I should add UMP's 358s and Pro Late Models. I'll be broadcasting that. And Friday night is Small Blocks, Limited Late Models, and 305s. Championship Monday at Fallujah for the sprint cars. You don't want to miss out on that, though the championships are pretty much over with, nearly over with. However, though, we've got amazing racing coming up. You don't want to miss that on Monday night. Tuesday night, Topside Tuesday. Midgets at Lernerville, Port Royal with the 410s, and then trucks at Daytona. And then for Wednesday, Hometown Heroes, Lucas Oil, Championship Night. Rest of the championship schedule for Week 12, Cedar Lake for Thursday Night Thunder, UMP's 358s, Pro Late Models, and then Xfinity Series at Daytona. And then Friday night goes to Volusia for 358s, Limited Lates, and 305s. On behalf of everyone at Cool Ray and the Coast to Coast Racing Network, Roger Craig, Preston Kramer, our main men in charge, Marty Sakala signing off. Congrats to your winners tonight. Jeff Flero in our 305s, Blake Chapman in the 360s, Kurt Schatzer in the big block. So long, everyone.